Everybody wants to know, what is the key for success? Well, the key for success is, one, having an open mindset. You have to understand this, that if you are on your fat loss journey and your goal is looking to lose body fat, realize it's going to take time. And that is the biggest thing that I cannot stress this enough. If you want to be successful, you have to realize here that, one, especially if you're doing all the right things, that working with your lifestyle, creating habits, right? Like, you should be looking forward to getting the opportunity to do those rather than thinking I have to do those. There's a big difference. I get to versus I have to. I'll put it to you like this, right? So if, let's say, you were forced to cut out all your carbohydrates, maybe do intermittent fasting, tons of cardio, right? Something that, yes, you're going to see results, but it's not really going to be enjoyable. How long can you really do it for? And that's a question for you to just kind of answer to yourself. How long can you consistently do that? The name of the game here are the people that you see that are super successful. Whether their goals is to burn body fat, whether they're actors, whether they're celebrities, whether they're athletes, right? They're not doing it for a result. And you in your fat loss journey should not be doing it for a result either. Like, think about it, right? If I was just doing something, like, let's say, getting my steps in, drinking plenty of water, working out, etc. If I was just doing that to look a certain way and that's all that I cared about, or seeing the number on scale go down and that's all that I cared about, well, what happens when I have success at, reaching my goals? Like, think about it. Right? I was only doing something to attract and acquire this certain outcome. So now that I, acquired that outcome, now what? Do you think there's going to be more discipline and more desire for me to continue to do what I have to do after I already have it? It's like, think about it, especially if you have kids, right? This makes complete sense to you. Think about it like your kid wants something for Christmas, right? They're like begging for it. And they get it for Christmas, you buy it for them. And all of a sudden, like after a week, maybe two, like that thing that was so special that they wanted so bad, it's just like another toy. It's nothing special anymore because they already have it. And so many times with people, right, it's like we're chasing the outcome. Chase. And then we eventually get it, and then we realize, oh man, like, this isn't as good as it seemed to be, or what I thought was, right? We all have these great imaginations. We're in our heads. We're like, okay, hey, if I lose this amount of weight, I'm going to, get this, girl, and I'm going to drive this car, and I'm going to get a raise at work, right? We like make it seem like it's going to be this huge, elaborate thing when it's really not. But at the end of the day, like, you get there, you get the goal, you get the outcome, and then you're just like, okay, cool. Well, all right, I guess I can stop doing what I was doing. And that's the issue. That's why people don't have long-term success. That's why I always kind of laugh to myself when, let's say I'm messaging somebody. I don't know, somebody hits me up. They're like, hey, I saw all your fat loss stuff over at Heartletics. I want to get signed up, etc. And they're like, I'm like going through, what have you tried doing? And right? Let's say they don't get signed up, right? And let's say this person tells me, well, I feel like, I don't need a coach. I feel like I don't need to learn how to properly eat, right? Some foolish stuff like that. And let's just say they say some really dumb stuff, right? And you're going to chuckle, but realize you probably said this once or twice to yourself. Well, I'm just going to do this until I hit my goal weight. And then I'll go back to normal. It's like, what? It's like the same thing when people get weight loss surgery and they end up regaining all the weight right back because they didn't apply the habits. They didn't change the foundation of themselves. They built that foundation on, like unstable surface. It's going to eventually collapse. So typically I'll hear from guys like, oh, I'll just cut out my carbs, or I'm just doing low carb, right? And I'll educate them, right? Hey, you understand the importance of like carbohydrates and how they help you burn body fat and how they help you speed up your metabolism, how they help you with testosterone levels, and especially with you being over 50 years old, like I'm pretty sure you want to have like better sex drive and more energy, right? They're like, yeah, that's cool, but like I'm just going to cut out my carbs. I'm only going to do it for a short period of time until I reach my goal weight. So I'm like, okay, so what are you going to do then? It's like you reached your goal weight. What are you going to do then? Oh, I'll start eating carbs again. Okay, like, so isn't that just going to put you right back to where you are right now? Like, I don't think people know how to think, or at least understand how it works within the body, you know? If you want to get somewhere in life, you need to apply the process. You need to apply the systems. You need to apply the habits, right? And that needs to be that identity shift that you need to make. So it's just like when it comes to trying to acquire your goals and attract them and have success at them, by all means, you definitely can, but don't do something just only for the outcome. Because that, yes, you will listen, here's the thing, right? If you listen to my advice on the podcast and on my YouTube channel and everything that we go over at Heartletics, you will lose body fat. That's the inevitable, right? Like, it's worked for over 2,000 guys. We've helped literally over hundreds of guys get off their medications, their blood pressure, cholesterol meds, all that stuff, and dozens of guys reverse their type 2 diabetes. We got this down, right? This is pretty simple stuff. Doctors recommend our services all the time to their patients. Like, it's easy, okay? The problem lies, though, is once again, somebody is just doing something for the outcome. They don't get that internal identity shift. They don't get that mindset shift that's needed to say, hey, I get to do this, not I have to do this, right? Think about it, right? Like, I have to go for a walk today, or I have to work out today, or I have to eat this protein today in order to lose X amount of weight. What sounds better, right? I have to, or you know what? Hey, I get to go for a walk today. I get to work out today. I get to eat like this so I can have that XYZ result that I'm after. But at the end of the day, hey, I'm happy doing this. It makes me feel good, right? Like, once you have that mindset shift, I promise you there's going to be so much clarity in your life. And you can apply this to anything of your goals, right? You're trying to make more money. You're trying to get better relationships. You're trying to start your own business, whatever the case may be. Fall in love with the process, because if you can truly learn how to do that, it's going to make it a lot more easier to actually have success at reaching your goals long term. So, recap here: to have long-term success, one, obviously make sure you do something that is sustainable, enjoyable, and something that you can be consistent with. Second, don't be focusing on doing this for just an outcome or reaching your goals. You know, at the end of the day, like, it's great to have goals. It's great to strive for that. It's great to achieve your goals. But hear me out, right? Like, really fall in love with the process of doing the things because it makes you feel better. Not necessarily because you're trying to acquire and attract something because you're doing something. Remember, there's a big difference between I have to versus I get to. If you do that and apply everything that we talk about Heartletics when it comes to the 7 essential fat loss habits for success, you will reach your goals. That's the inevitable. So, hopefully you guys got some great information, great advice in today's episode. If you did, definitely let me know. As always, guys, this has been Coach Joe with the Heartletics Podcast. I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace out, Girl Scouts.